I am really excited to be here with you guys today. We're going to be doing our first episode of Audio Tips and Tricks with Tyler. I am Tyler, as you might assume, Tyler Blanchard from Good Cat Productions, coming to you live from Treehouse Studios, our home base. If you haven't already, check out our website, tree-house-studios.com. That's tree-house-studios.com. Lots of great information on there. And what else? Oh yeah, there's lots of great pictures on there too, taken by none other than Rebecca Gudalunas Photography. She's a good friend and a great photographer. She's actually got a promo going on right now where she will come to your house and do little portraits. Safe, socially distant photography sessions for you to, show yourselves off a little bit. It's a great thing. You should check it out. Also, make sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram if you haven't already, at Good Cat Productions. And please share this with your musician friends. We're trying to, share some knowledge and get it out there. So help us get the word out to the musicians that you know. All right. All right. We've got a couple of promotions going on right now. You may have seen the new video that we have out for our free home recording consultation, where I'm doing free 30-minute chats. You guys check out the video. It's lots of, all the info is there. And then we have our first mix free promotion right now. For all our new customers, we'll do one mix free. You have some tracks you recorded at home maybe, and you want us to polish them up, we can do that for you. All right, so let's talk about this audio tips and tricks with Tyler. It's this new weekly format where we're going to be hopping on to share my experience and my knowledge with you guys, all you DIY creatives that are at home. I'm going to do a little bit lecture. I've had a little presentation prepared. Then we'll do a demonstration of some of the things we talked about, and then we'll open it up to questions and answers. But if anything is confusing or doesn't quite make sense, just feel free to put it in the comments there, and my lovely partner Mara will let me know, and we'll try to make sure everything makes sense. So yeah. All right, let's get into today's topic, shall we? Yeah, we ready? All right, we're going to be talking about phone and computer microphones. So I wanted to start with something that applies to everyone. Right? We're all stuck at home right now, and most of us have either a phone or a computer that we can use to capture audio. And maybe you haven't been using it to its fullest potential. So I want to talk about some of those tips and tricks, some ways that we can get the most out of our mics. So first question is, where are these mics located on your phone and in your computer? If you're going to be using them, you need to know where it is, right? Because the microphone is an ear, right? It's listening, and you need to know where that is, and where you point that can matter. Now, luckily, these microphones on computers and phones are usually omnidirectional, so pointing them 100, they're not as directional as some other mics, which we'll talk about later. So, on this phone here, usually they're at the bottom, right? It's the littlest dot right here next to the headphone jack on this iPhone 6s. We're Apple people here. That's what we use, but whatever you use works too. It probably has similar things. Works in a similar way. Do let us know what you are using, so we can give you some more specific information and make sure what we're saying is applying to you. So for the phone, it's down here. For the laptop, for this particular model, it's in the left speaker bay towards the top. It's right about here is where the mic is located for this 15-inch MacBook Pro. But for the 13-inch ones, there's actually holes on the side sometimes. They're all a little different, but if you do a quick Google search with your specific model number, you should be able to find a diagram with just a little bit of digging that'll show you where the microphone is. Okay? So, now that we know where the microphone is located, let's think about placement. Where are we going to put it in our space and in relation to our sound source to get the sound that we want? Now, here I got to tell you to just try lots of different things. Try them out and see what works for you. Especially with music, it's so subjective. What sounds good to one person might not sound good to another. So it's all about just doing what works for you and what you like. So try some different things and find what you like. For a live stream, you have to think about certain things like balancing looking good with sounding good, right? So that's something you have to take in mind. There's those two things you need to balance, right? But if you're recording for, say, production, if you're trying to get a good recording of a song, you're just focused on getting the best sound. So that can help a lot of the time, make things nice and easy and more concise. You just have one thing to worry about, right? One big tip for placement is to avoid putting your microphone close to the middle of a room. What happens there is if you're in the middle or just a little bit off the middle, you're likely to get phase cancellation, especially in a live room. We'll talk more about acoustics another week. But basically what phase cancellation is as the sound waves bounce off of opposing walls and then come back together, if they're not exactly lined up, they can create constructive and destructive interference. It's actually an effect that some people use. If you've heard of phasing or putting a phaser on something, right? Sometimes you can use that to an effect, but generally if you're looking for a clean acoustic recording, you don't want that kind of phase interference. So I recommend avoiding kind of middle of the room placement. Kind of go sort of, not fully in the corner, but just not right in the middle. All right, and then the second thing you want to think about is capturing direct sound versus reverberated sound, okay? So if I've got my phone microphone here, right, if I'm pointing it right at my mouth like this, it's right here, it's close, it's getting almost a 100% direct sound, right? So that's going to be a really pure, direct, kind of piercing sound. But if I turn it up against this wall that's flat and reflects the sound, we can get reverb. So if I point the microphone this way at the wall and I talk at it, it's going to still catch up my voice, but it's going to be more reverberated sound than direct sound. Right? Make sense? Yeah. So we can either point the microphone here, or if I wanted to get a more reverb sound, I could kind of angle it up here. Maybe this is about 50%, half reverb, half direct sound, right? More, or all the way. So these are things you can think about, all right? Think about where you're placing it, where the microphone is pointing, and what it's picking up. All right, let's talk about audio quality. So right now you're listening to this on a live stream, and the thing that's dictating the audio quality is the streaming platform, Facebook or Instagram, right? That application is saying, I can only put this amount of quality on the audio, but that doesn't mean that is the best quality that your microphone can pick up. So if you want to pick up a higher quality recording off of the microphone on your phone or computer, you have to think about using a better software or application that's going to allow that higher quality audio to be captured. Most of the microphones in the phone, for example, actually have a pretty wide frequency response, pretty flat until down about 100, 200 kilohertz, and they go all the way up until, 100 to 200 hertz, up to about 10,000 hertz or 10 kilohertz. So it's a pretty good response overall. And when you are keeping in mind high quality audio that we would receive in like a studio setting is usually going to be at least 24-bit depth and 48 kilohertz sample rate. We'll get more into that another day when we talk about audio. But 24-bit, 48K, that's a high quality audio. So that's kind of what you're looking for. Let's talk about computer microphones a little bit for a second. So there's a couple different free applications. If you have Apple, you have access to GarageBand, which is a free application that I've used a lot in the past. It's changed a lot, but it's got a lot of flexibility, and there's a lot you can do with it for free. Also, there's Audacity out there. It's another free application for Windows and other platforms. Let me know what you guys are using. Tell me what you guys are using so I can make sure that I'm giving you some good tips, okay? So we are going to talk about how to find the input volume. Now, for your phone here, there's no way to control the gain or how much detail the microphone is picking up. Not how much detail, but how loud it's making it, for lack of a better term. We'll get it. But for a computer, if you start clipping, then you can change your volume, and I'm going to show you here. If you go into System Preferences, then into Sound and Input, you can see here that there's a little input level, and that's going up as my voice is going out, right, as I'm talking. And you can see that it's not going all the way to the edge. If it goes all the way to the edge and we max out, That's when we get a clip. Clipping is not good. It doesn't sound good in recorded audio, especially digital clipping. So we don't want that. So if you find that you are getting a lot of that clipping from recording a loud source, like a guitar amp or something, you can come over here to the input volume and lower it. Just turn that down. So this is the way to turn down your mics if they're too hot. You can't do this in GarageBand per se, but you can do it here. So that's something to show you guys. All right. Thank you, our camera lady, for making that happen. Cool. So, we've talked about computer mics, and we talked about how clipping is bad and how to use the input volume. Let's talk about phone microphones. So again, there's not a way to control the gain on your phone microphone that I have found for most apps, but I did find a couple of free apps where you can get high quality audio. All right, so some free applications to use that can get high quality audio off of your phone. One is Easy Voice Record by Digipon, D-I-G-I-P-O-N. That one is nice and simple, and you can go into the format under settings and set what kind of file format and what kind of sampling rate. And it's really simple. It tells you what's high quality, what's not, and it tells you also an estimate for how much space it's going to take up on your phone per minute of recording time. So if you're recording a song that you say you know is 3 minutes and you want to do it high quality, you can figure out how much space you need to make sure you have on your phone. Because trust me, nothing's worse than trying to getting that perfect takeout and then realizing that it stopped recording halfway through because you ran out of space. So make sure to check your file space that way. There's one other app I wanted to point you guys to that's Voice Record Pro. That's developed by Diana Networks Ltd. Again, we'll have this in the comments. This one is a little bit more full-featured, and it's even got some EQ options and some ways that you can layer tracks together. So if you're looking for a little bit more flexibility there, or if you're comfortable with production and mixing, you might want to check that one out too. But in each case, you can get that high-quality audio that we talked about, that 24-bit, 48 kilohertz sampling rate. All right. Another thing to think about with the phone is whether you're leaving the case on or the case off. In most cases, I think it's probably going to be better to have the case off. You're going to get better response from your mic, but who knows? Maybe you'll like what it sounds like with the case on. So give it a try. All right. Ooh, demonstration time. Yeah. All right, cool. So we're going to talk about recording vocals with, say, using your phone. This goes for if you're doing voice work or if you're recording for a musical application. All right. And the first thing I want you to think about is how you're standing, right? So if you're giving a performance, you want to be standing and have good posture, and you don't want to worry about being hunched over to lean into the mic or holding the microphone. You can probably get away with this, but personally I wouldn't recommend it. I think it's better if you can lean it on something. So maybe you've got a music stand lying around that you can use. Here, does that work for everybody? Mm-hmm. Cool. So you can put this on a music stand, and you can sing it into this way. Maybe you've got one of these guys. Now, another thing that you guys might have lying around is one of these lamps. Who doesn't have one of these lamps? We've got 3. I'm not kidding. 1 for each floor. It's great. So these guys, you can stick your phone in like this, wrap it up pretty good. For me, that's a little short. It's a little low. I'm a little bit taller. So what actually works for me is to take one of these guys and put it in here. Now look at that. I've got good placement. Right? As long as I'm not clipping, I can control that. I can back up a little bit. I can even direct this around to get a little more reverb in the sound. There's lots of flexibility there. So be creative with it. Think about what you've got around and try some things out. Figure out what works, what doesn't. Cool. So we talked about that. Oh, yes. All right, here's my favorite experiment. Now we're going to talk about using 2 different microphones. Right? We talked a little bit about getting the direct sound versus the reverb sound, right? But if you have 2 microphones, you can get one that picks up primarily direct sound and another that gets primarily reverb, right? So this is kind of what audio engineers like to do, and why we have all these microphones and set them up so we can get different perspectives on the sound and then kind of blend them together and find just the right balance so you get a nice full picture of what you're recording. So what we're going to do right now is we are going to use the laptop here and my phone to record a short little guitar piece. And let's get into it. All right, I'm going to pull up GarageBand here. Got it, it's all ready to go. I'm going to grab my guitar. And I'm going to do first a little test, because I'm going to place the second microphone wherever I get a really nice reverb, wherever I like the way it sounds. And in order to find that, if you've got multiple people, normally if you're hiring an audio engineer here, you're going to be here, you're going to be playing, and then I would be the guy moving my head around, finding the right spot for that. But say you're at home, you don't have another person, here's a quick way you can do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to record a little snippet. Alright, so I've got this little piece here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this back on the computer, that way that I can move around and actually find where I like the sound. So I can figure out where to place my second microphone. So, place this guy down real quick, and we're going to... So, find a good spot with my ear. This is okay, but I'm looking for more reverb. I think we can do better. On this side of the room, it's more reverb, but I think we can go further. Alright, let me try this. I'm going to go up the stairs. Oh yeah, that's great. That is the spot. Cool. Alright, so I really like how it sounds up there. It's a nice thick reverb, it's a nice long decay. It sounds really good because there's lots of live space up there. So now I'm going to put my phone up there, I'm going to hit record on that, and then I'm going to come down here and hit record on this guy so we can capture them both at the same time. Now, one other trick for you guys, if you are going to be doing multi-tracking and then linking them up later, one tip is what I'm going to do is I'm going to snap. I'm going to do a snap or a clap, a nice high frequency loud thing in between the two microphones, so that later when I have to match them up, I can find that one transient and just kind of line them up, boom, and then I know my tracks are going to be synced. Okay, so let's do it. I'm going to hit record up there, then I'm going to come down here and we're going to hit this take. All right, we are recording. Or rolling, as we like to say. All right, rolling one, rolling two. All right, cool. So that is our little thing. Let me go hit stop on this other recording device. Great. Cool. So I've got these two recordings of the same piece from these two different locations, and I am going to mix them together and make a little file for you guys to check out. So we can play, you can hear the laptop, and then the far away, the phone mic, and then we can blend them together. Then I can show you how I would mix them to make it sound its best. And then I'll show you the mastering process as well and how that takes things up to the next level. So I'm gonna get to work on that and share it with you guys tomorrow. I'll have that out tomorrow for everybody. Let me just pull back up my notes. Here we go. Cool. So yeah, my biggest thing here is experiment with it. Have fun. try different things, right? This is supposed to be fun, especially if you're making music. You want it to be something that inspires you, you know, and makes you want to listen to more. So have fun with that. Last little thing I want to mention is monitoring, right? So you may be recording high quality audio on your phone, but if you're just playing it back through these little tiny speakers, it might not sound the greatest, and you might not be able to tell the difference in the quality. So I recommend either getting some nice headphones or some nice speakers that you can listen back on and hear the difference in the sound quality. And you want to be consistent in that way. You want to record different ways and then listen to it back all the same way, so you can really feel the difference in the different tracks and how the different treatments affect it. All right. Cool. So I want you guys to go out and try this. Send me some recordings and let me know how it works out for you. And if you do want to get something mixed, we've got that first mix free promotion going. So you can send it over to me and I'll mix it together the best that I can. I can use all the hardware and the software that I have to repair the audio and get all that unwanted noise out and really make everything sparkle and shine its best. One thing I wanted to ask everybody is what topic you'd like next week. I've got 2 ideas, and we'll probably do one next week and the other the following. But for would you guys rather watch an episode on DIY acoustics, just kind of intro to acoustics and how you can do acoustic treatment yourself at home with what you've got? Or would you like to talk about dynamic and condenser microphones? Maybe you've got an interface and an SM58 or some kind of condenser, and you want to learn how to use them to their fullest. So let us know in the comments if you would, which one you'd like to see next week. But also, if you guys would like some personalized tips and tricks from me, check out our free home recording consultation. You can get a 30-minute call. It can be a video chat with me where we can talk about your specific situation and working with whatever you have to get the best sound. So check out that video. Check out our website, tree-house-studios.com, and you can see, get in contact with us there, and let's get talking. Let me see, what else do I have to say to you guys? Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, check out our SoundCloud and our YouTube. All of that is at Good Cat Productions. That's cat with a K, if you don't know. And please, please, please share with your musician friends. We're trying to get the word out and share some good information and help some people during this time. So please, please share. All right. Finally, there's one more promotion I want to talk about, and that is for Lessons with Mara. That's right, another part of Treehouse Studios is the piano lessons that Mara gives. So right now we're taking new students, anyone 9 and older, who's comfortable with online learning and independent learning. And you can, again, see that information on our website or check out her Facebook, Lessons with Mara. Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I had a great time with this. I look forward to talking to you all next week and talking about either DIY acoustics or condenser and dynamic microphones. Let us know in the comments which one you would like to see. And yeah, we'll talk to you soon. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Happy Friday.